Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy Saturday night to join me. I really appreciate it. Is it Saturday? I think it's Saturday. I know that because tomorrow's Sunday. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, I hope that you guys are doing really well. You feel me? Tonight, I'm coming at you like I always do right after a day of doing completely nothing because my life is aimless, pointless, and just not quite yet worthless. But we'll see where it goes. Anyways, I want to tell you guys why I think it's important that if you're an incoming freshman in this year going into college, you feel me? Like you're about to graduate high school or whatever. I think that you should live in the dorms, okay? And so, I attended the University of New Mexico, and when I was an incoming freshman, so I graduated high school in 2006, and my first year of living on campus would have been my sophomore year. So 2007 is when I had started residing in the student dormitories, and I went into the dormitories, on like a scholarship or whatever for new student orientation leader, and then subsequently stayed in the dorms the next 2 semesters, including both winter session breaks, the spring breaks, and summer classes. So I lived on campus for one entire year, and in that year, I got to tell you that it's the closest thing to what maybe in 10, 20, or some of you that are lucky enough to have already experienced the kind of feeling that you get when you're at a resort, except you're at school. Now, I know that's kind of like an interesting thing to say, but I tell you, because I'm almost 40 years old and I did live on campus in the student dormitories for a year, that like it was the best experience of my life. It's self-sustaining. I mean, it's its own sovereign place. The cops don't come around, and if they do, they're campus police and they're actually police officers. So that's not entirely correct. We have our own police force on campus, and yes, they are real cops. So they may say like campus cops or whatever, but they are in fact real enforcement law officers. And so, but they're cool. In the entire year that I lived on campus, I seen them once. Like these are probably the coolest, right? Because again, they're dealing with the population of young student adults who, for the most part, again, because they're here, being in America is a little bit different in that, like I feel a college campus is a real safe place to be if you're attending class and you're going to school. Moreover, there's different kinds of living on campus, and I don't feel like shuttling to main campus from a student dormitory is living on campus. That's not living on campus. That's living off campus in a student dormitory that is like an apartment, which is not in itself bad, but it's not the same experience. And so, my advice to all of y'all is to live on main campus, right? Live the student dream. I used to walk to all of my classes within 5 minutes from my student dormitory. It was the best life possible. Like, seriously. Like, if I had a class at 8, I'd wake up at 7:45 and just kind of put myself together, walk on down about, I don't know, 300 yards or so, and I'd be at class. You feel me? And then I'd be able to do all of my school there, the library, like the student recreational center, like recreational services, things like that. Like, it was really cool. And not to mention that if you get involved in things on campus, that it makes your life a lot easier to be on main campus at all times. So like if you want to be involved with homecoming committee, or you want to run for homecoming queen or king, or you want to be on the student senate, these are all elected positions. I myself was the community liaison for the Resident Hall Association, and that was a job that led me to the vice president of community affairs for a semester while I was attending college and living on main campus as well. So, again, living on campus can lead to a whole bunch of different opportunities. If you're interested in like mentoring other incoming freshmen. There's an opportunity to become a new student orientation leader. Now, this is across Division One campuses all across the nation. This isn't just something that, from my specific experience, I'm drawing on and misleading people with. Not at all. That's like the way that it is. There's a Residence Hall Association. There's conventions. I myself attended Resident Hall national academia services. So like we'd go down to ASU is where they host that, and the different Western schools would all kind of it was really cool. You talk about being an RA and different types of things, and I know this may sound nerdy, but like it is the full experience of college. And I just always felt like if I was going to be in student loan debt, until now, 20 years later, that I wanted the experience to be just as perfect as it could be, as it concerned like every movie I'd seen and every TV show I'd ever watched. Main campus, living on main campus, not to mention that, again, there aren't many dormitories on main campus because campuses have expanded. And even with the University of New Mexico, the majority of the student dormitories are not actually on main campus. So you do have to shuttle to get to your classes. And in fact, it kind of defeats the whole purpose. It's almost like being a stupid real old adult and having to commute stupid times to do stupid things. When you could just be smart about doing stupid things. Again, I feel like college is not stupid. Obviously, you learn a lot. I just feel like you take away from it more socially than you do like in an academic sense, and that's just because academia is academia and it's just all kind of streamlined, kind of watered down, unless you get into advanced courses, which, I advise you to do that particular subject that you're cool with, but live on main campus. Live there and experience what it's like to live 5 minutes away from your classes, to be close to hundreds of people your own age all at the same time. So like, when you're not in class, it's just like anything else in life. You're chilling outside of where you'd normally go to class, only it's without teachers and without like weird old people. It's an entire world of just young people, getting through their lives. I can't tell you, I had some of the best times of my life living in DeVargas. So I lived in DeVargas and I lived in the Student Residence Center at University of New Mexico. Laguna de Vargas is a complex on main campus. LDV for my locals. Laguna de Vargas. The vernacular is super local, so I'm stressing this. But I lived in LDV in De Vargas, building 3. So one side was Laguna, one side was De Vargas. There were 3 buildings on each side, and they were both really close to one another. And, it was one of the oldest dormitories on main campus. And ironically enough, it was just within literal eyesight of where I was born. So, I'm not making that up. I've always thought it was the coolest thing that out of all the places I could have been put, I got placed in a spot that was the closest to La Posada, which is the student cafeteria at the University of New Mexico. And obviously, if you live in the dorms, you have to have a meal plan, even if it's like the cheapest one. And so I remember I had the cheapest meal plan. It was like, you could have 2 meals a day or something. And I was like, really, just as all of my buddies were, it was like one of those things where it's like it's a full service buffet. By the way, it's like real good food. A lot of people work really hard in those kitchens to make all of that food every single day for the entire student population that's residing on main campus. Like, and it's open to the community too. You can go into the community, you got to pay a higher price, but it's something that you can access as well as a community member. So it's not just for students, but mostly it's just for students. And again, I lived literally, I was the closest person on the entire campus that lived next to the school cafeteria. With my history of marijuana and I guess most notably the side effect of munchies, you can say that I literally had the best experience you could possibly have on main campus, living in a student dormitory. So, I mean, you don't have to take my advice and you don't have to listen to what I say at all. But if you've made it this far in the video, consider subscribing. You know, I'm kind of on a grind right now. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 videos on the channel and then move on to like different things, different material, different kinds of things that I like want to do, different videos that I want to produce, you know, better quality, all of these things. So consider subscribing. All right, I have a lot of new subscribers. We just lost a lot of subscribers recently, so again, it's just it's cool that you're joining me, and you know, I'm here to entertain you. This is what I do. This is what I do. I know that sounds weird, but again, 900 and almost 20 videos into this, I feel like I gotta own it, you know, because I am pushing out content, and that's what it is. You know, the whole point of my life moving forward is just to get things done. So far as it concerns, just trying to be the best person that I can be, and, you know, all while still trying to do nothing but really make my life into a little bit of something. You feel me? And so I just appreciate you guys, you know, from the bottom of my heart. Seriously, I give you a thumbs up, and I'd subscribe to your channel if I could. So I hope that you guys have a really wonderful night. Please stay safe out there. It's Saturday night. There's a lot of people, you know, hopping in and out of bars right now. So if you've had anything to drink, obviously, just as always, a friendly reminder, don't drive. You feel me? Don't drive with anyone in a car that has anything to drink at all. You know, hit up an Uber, call your friend, call your mom, call your dad, call somebody that hasn't had anything to drink. You feel me? Just be safe out there. So I hope that you guys have a really good night, and I'll see everyone tomorrow. Bye.